6 Coronation Street spoilers next week. Here are all your Coronation Street spoilers for the 27th to the 31st of January 2025. 1. Shona Platt's life at risk as she's held captive in a van. Unbeknownst to Shona, she is being followed by a mysterious man in a van as she leaves her house. The man accelerates rapidly, leaving Shona's phone abandoned on the street. Trapped in the van's rear compartment, Shona frantically bangs on the door and screams for help, but no one seems to hear her pleas. David's growing concern as Shona goes missing. David is stunned when he learns that Shona failed to show up for her shift at the cafe. Alarmed by her disappearance, he rushes to the police station to report her missing. David shares his suspicions with Kit Green, linking Shona's vanishing to the recent hit and run involving the family dog. He fears that Harvey Gaskell might be involved, believing that Harvey is targeting him after David took his robbery money. David's desperate move to protect his family. In a state of panic, David decides that it is no longer safe for him to stay in the area. He warns Nick Tilsley that unless the money is returned to Harvey, his entire family will be in grave danger. David is convinced that Harvey will come after him next, and the situation only seems to escalate. David's plan to raise the money and save his family. Desperate for a solution, David comes up with a drastic plan to raise the money. He meets with his former cellmate, Andy, asking him for a dangerous favor. As David prepares to make a risky move, the question remains, will he manage to get the money in time? And will Shona be found before it's too late? 2. Abby Webster is facing a difficult and emotional time, as her partner Kevin has been diagnosed with testicular cancer. While Kevin tries to stay positive, his diagnosis is a heavy blow, and it's taking a toll on Abby. She worries deeply about his health, but tries to keep a hopeful outlook for both of them during this challenging period. Abby confides in Nina Lucas that the recent death of Mason Radcliffe has brought back painful memories of losing her son, Seb Franklin. The grief she thought she had under control has resurfaced. And now, with Kevin's diagnosis, she's overwhelmed by fear for both him and her family's future. Abby is struggling to balance these emotions, haunted by her past and unsure how to cope with the mounting stress. In a moment of reflection, Abby looks at her own image in a window and is startled to see an image of Seb staring back at her. This haunting vision only deepens her sense of despair. At home, she hides her growing anxiety by pretending to be simply tired, but Kevin is quick to notice and grows concerned when she retreats to bed early, avoiding interaction. The following day, Abby takes her young son Alfie with her to pick up Kevin from his ultrasound appointment. However, when she passes the spot where Mason had tragically died, she experiences another panic attack. Struggling to control her emotions, she gets out of the car, overcome by the overwhelming image of cradling Seb's lifeless body. The sight sends her into a spiral of grief and fear, and she rushes off in a state of distress. Back at home, Kevin is left confused and concerned, as he finds Debbie Webster waiting for him instead of Abby. When he returns to their house, he finds Abby curled up on the sofa, visibly shaken. He reassures her that the results from his scan will take a few weeks. But Abby is still startled and uneasy. Her shock deepens when she finds Kevin in a conversation with a social worker, suspecting her sister-in-law Debbie of reporting her. However, is Abby right to be worried about Debbie's intentions? 3. Tracy Barlow confronts Cassie Plummer. At number 1, Cassie slips antihistamine into Ken's cup of tea, and later, Adam Barlow and Alia Nazir call in to find Ken looking rather peaky. When Ken opens his bank account, he's confused to see some unusual transactions, and when Tracy takes a look, she confronts Cassie over a transaction for hair products and accuses her of stealing from Ken. But Ken believes Cassie is innocent and asks her to move in full-time. Delighted, Cassie accepts, while Steve and Amy are horrified. When Cassie tells Mum Evelyn Plummer that she's moving in with Ken as he needs round-the-clock care, Evelyn is suspicious. Amy warns Steve to keep his misgivings about Cassie to himself, or he might end up homeless. But with Daniel already onto Cassie and having warned Adam about the drugging, will she be exposed? 4. Amy Barlow's unwelcome blast from the past. Amy gets ready to leave for a party, but when she arrives at the venue, she is shocked to see Eric Sanford, the father of her rapist, Aaron. Aaron was last seen in June 2023, when he left Weatherfield after finally seeming to accept he did not have Amy's consent for sex earlier that year. Eric had initially backed his son all the way and launched a libel case against Amy, which was eventually dropped. How will Eric react to seeing Amy, and will she overcome this unwelcome reminder of her ordeal? 5. Passion for Leanne Battersby and Steve McDonald. Leanne is mortified when she must wear a high-vis jacket and deal with being heckled by teens while picking up litter. Annoyed, Leanne storms into the bistro and demands Toya Habib serve her a glass of champagne. Nick then arrives with son Sam Blakeman, and as the week goes on, Leanne is downcast as she's found by Steve, who invites her to number 1 for a drink. Steve and Leanne reminisce over a bottle of wine, and Steve fails to notice when his phone buzzes with an urgent message from Amy. Steve assures Leanne that she means the world to Sam, and that bond will never be broken. When Leanne kisses him, Steve kisses her back passionately. Could this be the start of something? Or is it just a drunken mistake? 6. Police drama for Chesney Brown. Gemma Winter Brown is thrilled when Chesney pays off the last of their bills with Les Battersby's compensation money, and says he's booked him a holiday in Alicante. In The Rovers, Gemma's mum Bernie Winter finally announces her engagement to Dev, and the family are delighted for them as they raise a toast. But later at home, the police arrive and Chess is taken to the station to be interviewed. Gemma masks her anxiety, but what is going on?
Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.